Hi all, today we are going to discuss about how to create a web application using Angular 9 and .NET Core. We are using Angular 9 for creating this particular application and .NET Core Web API for backend application. So let's get started. First of all, we have to create the web API. So I am going to open Visual Studio 2019. Let us create a project. Select ASP.NET Core Web Application and it will show up a window like this, and we have to give our project name. For time being, I am giving the name as Student Web API. Student API, that will do. And I am going to place my folder here. Okay, and create. Okay, it will open a window like this, and we have to specifically select the API format. Instead of MVC, we have to create API, and select this one and create. Okay, the project is created. Now we can create our controller and models. Okay. For database operations, we can use either entity framework or LinkU, whatever we want. For this particular scenario, I am sticking with the entity framework. Okay. To do entity framework, we have to install certain packages in our project. Let us install through package manager. Okay, right click on your project and go to package manager, and here you have to install certain package. Obviously it will be entity framework core and some additional packages in order to support our development. Okay, let us type entity core. It is available. Taking too much of time. We got it, and select this one, entity framework core, and we have to select the latest stable version and install it. Accept the, and it is installed. Okay, other than that, we have to install two more packages. I will show you. Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server, because in this video I am going to use SQL Server as my database. So in order to connect to SQL Server, you have to install this one. If you are using Mongodb, we have to install the Mongodb driver. Okay, let's install this also. It also installed, and we can go for entity framework tool. This will allow us to write some query on our package manager console. Okay, so we can install this one also. Okay, and entity framework core tools, and select latest stable version and install it. Accept here. Finally, our packages are installed perfectly. Now we can close this window, and we can create our controllers and models. Okay, first we have to create the model. For that, I am creating a folder named as model, and inside that model we can create our tables. Okay, here I am creating a class and named it as student. Okay, the class is created. You can define certain properties here. For time being, I am giving two properties, ID and name, string name. Or we can give one more properties like address. Okay, return type should be string. Okay, finally it's ready. Now we have to create an important class. In order to interact with the database, we have to create a special class name as appdb context, or we can say student db context. Okay, by using that class we can create the database tables, and we can also communicate with the database. Okay, let's create that. We can place it in the model itself, and I'm going to name it as student db context. We can give whatever the name we want. For the time being, I am giving it as student db context. Okay, the class is ready, and we have to insert with the db context class, which is coming from the entity framework core. So we have to import that packages also. Okay, here we have to give a constructor. For the time being, I am written already. I'm going to paste it. Okay, this is our constructor. Okay, our constructor is ready, and we can mention a db set here, which will represent our table. Okay, public db set. Inside that we can define our class, model class student, and name it as students, and provide a getter method and setter method. Right. Okay, now it's ready. One thing we have to do is, like, we have to mention a primary key for every table. So we can give annotation on top of our property. For this particular example, I am keeping id as I'm making it as small letter, because when we connect with our Angular application, in Angular everything is dealing with small letter, so it is better to keep in that standard. Okay, we are importing this annotation also. Now it's finally ready. Now what we can do is, like, we have to give the connection string, and we have to register that connection string in our startup class. Then only the entity framework core automatically generate the required CRUD operations. So let's do that. And here I am writing already written my connection string. Just copy it, and we can place it in our app settings.json. In that app settings.json, just open it and place it over here. Okay, this is my database name, student db, and my connection string name is stored in a local variable called dev connection. Okay, so what we have to do is, we have to register it inside our startup class. I am going to copy paste that code in here. Just open the startup class, and you can paste over here. What exactly we are doing is, we are registering our service. Okay, just import all the necessary header files. This use SQL server is coming from entity framework core. Let's import that particular namespaces. For SQL server, it's not showing that prediction. I don't know why. Let's see that. It's showing finally, so we can import that. Okay, now we are ready with our app DB context, student DB context and all these things, and we can start developing our controller. In order to create a controller, we can make use of scaffolding method. So just add a controller here, and you can select in API control with the using entity framework. Okay, and just select your model class here. I'm going to select a student, that is our model class, and the DB context that we have developed, created just now, and my controller name will be students controller. Okay, I'm going to add it. We are getting an error. There was an error running in the select code generator. Value cannot be null. The connection string. Some kind of issue is there. Okay, so we can check that. Maybe we can build it. Select the student API. Just add a migration. Just type add migration. And initial, name it as initial. Okay. Okay, there are some errors. We need to fix it. The parameter, the connection string cannot be null. So maybe the startup class inside our startup class, it is not getting that value, the connection configuration string here. So for the time being, I am removing this, and let us type it statically. Let's see how it is going. Okay, what was our connection string? This one. Okay. I'm copying it completely. We can copy paste it, like I am completely selecting this one up to here, copying it, and I'm pasting over here. Okay, there are two codes. Just remove that, and we can also make some changes over here. Like instead of local, we can name it as localhost itself. Localhost. Okay, and SQL Express, that is okay, and student DB, everything is fine. Okay, let's see. Let us once again build it. Typing CLS in order to clear on the screen, and add migration initial. Okay, build failed. There may be some errors, so let's see. A bracket is missing somewhere here. Yeah. Okay, let us do once again do it. Go to tools, choose Mongodb package manager console, and do it once again. This build is succeeded. Okay, fine. Now we can update the database. Update -database. Okay. Build is succeeded. Okay. Done. Okay. Now we can once again try to create that controller. I am going to create once again controller API, and naming select student student as our model, and app-db context and student controller. It will take some time. It is actually scaffolding our code. Yeah, finally it's working. We got our controller, and we can make use of these APIs. Okay, let us also open our SQL server and see whether the database created or not. If it is created, we can give some dummy values in order to test our APIs. Okay, I am going to open SQL server. Let's open the database, and Yeah, student DB is available. Let's open it, and we can see the table there. Eventually we have created our table. Let's give some dummy values, okay, and see whether it is visible in our browser or not, okay, by using that controller. Edit, give some random values. I'm going to give Vishnu, name, address, Kollam. Okay, one value is here. Now we can run this. Just run your application. What was our controller name? Student. Okay. Finally our app is running, and we can type here our required path, student/get. This will invoke this particular method here, the get method from our API. Okay, there are some errors. Okay, we have to give API here, so just type API/student/get. There are some errors still. What is it? Let's check the error. First of all, we can give a breakpoint over here and see, instead of students, it's working now. Actually what I have done, make the changes, is like I remove that get from here, so it's working fine. Okay, see, it's working, and we get the value. Okay, now our web API is running fine. Now we have to create the Angular application. Okay.